Hi guys, so today I'm gonna be showing you this script that this idea I have. So basically, um if you have a Wave mic or Wave mic 1, Wave mic 3, those are Elgato microphones that gives you access to Wavelink, or a Wave XLR allowing you to use a XLR microphone with like Wavelink, so you can basically do all your mixing live using a Stream Deck. So because I have this set up, so my audio is coming through actual Wavelink on my Stream Deck, so I can see the bars and see how high it is right here and lower here. So this is the audio output. Firefox, so stuff I use daily. This is for when I'm listening to music and stuff, but all this can be controlled with Wavelink. And if you have a Stream Deck Plus, this also works. You get access to Wavelink if you have a Stream Deck Plus, and you have access to actual knobs, and you can see the physical meter on the touchscreen of the knobs above each knob. And so basically, there's a issue with the Wavelink where has been a known issue for Elgato stuff, and the Elgato Wavelink app. So they say they fix it. It gets fixed for a little bit, then it has more issues, and so um, I basically made it so I have this application here, Keyboard Maestro. Well, if you have, I'm going to tell you the Windows version, but it the Windows version is more finicky than actually this because of when you press the X button on Windows, it basically closes it. It actually closes it to like the actual menu versus on the Mac OS. It just if you press the X button, it basically closes it. But in order to actually close the window, you have to press Command W on the keyboard to close any application that's in the foreground and into the taskbar. But and if you need to have it relaunch, you can just use a software called on Windows called Power Automate. It will open it to close it, but it takes a little bit more, and you have to have some sort of screen on because with Windows it doesn't adjust properly when it's off. So because this macro here can run without the screen being on because it because as long as it detects an input, which it does with this guy. This guy is plugged into this monitor, that monitor, and the monitor over there is plugged into the Thunderbolt 3 port on the Mac, which is always active, versus this monitor, the TV, and that monitor is hooked up, and this one is hooked up to this guy right here, which is hooked up to the ATEM's output over here. So when the ATEM is off, this doesn't get any signal, which means the macro would not run. And so in order to have it run, you just have to make sure you have an active display. And I have another one of those guys plugged into the Thunderbolt port on my Mac into those monitors. So even if the monitors are powered off, like the screen is off, it still is sensing a display input, so it can run the macro. But with actually Windows, you can't have that because of it would not run properly. And so going back to this specific macro, so using Keyboard Maestro, you make a command that says periodically while logged in, because of It has to be logged in order to use Wavelink anyway. It will. I have it set to repeat every 30 minutes. From 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. So a full 24 hours. It would repeat Monday through Monday. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it will then repeat that every 30 minutes, which is because of I noticed that Wavelink breaks up after 30 minutes because I have an issue where I'll explain. So I am running I used to be running Master Duels on Crossover, but the problem is I ended up basically using VMware Fusion and running a virtual machine on here that runs Windows, a full kitted out version of Windows. It's ARM version of Windows, but basically it runs on here at full speed compared to there, and compared to Crossover, and this I can pipe the audio from the audio output on here to my mixer board, aka Wavelink. And then once I pipe it through actually Wavelink, I can control it on here, or I could basically, which is what I do, but I can actually have it so when I'm recording audio, I can actually, when I'm recording video, I can have it piped through here to the computer and run on the virtual machine on there. But just so Wavelink could run on there and be hooked up to actually there and audio pass through. But the easiest way of running it is running Crossover on the Mac, and then hooking up to a Thunderbolt dock, and audio that comes out of here goes through the HDMI into the ATEM into here because Wavelink can listen to this input too, which is the ATEM on Wavelink, so that can then get piped into my recording audio, which means because when running OBS and when running OBS and when running OBS and a virtual machine on here, Master Duel kind of lags because of it's running full speed Windows. So Windows is running at full HD speed, and it also goes to also running OBS, so it's getting hit twice as hard. So what I recommend doing is if you have a separate Mac, or if you have like an old M1 that you're using for recording, because this is just an M1 I'm using as recording, or if you have a Mac Studio, because if you have a Mac Studio, then this could basically run just the editing and the virtual machine and also OBS at the same time. But if you just have an old Mac Mini that you don't want to get rid of or still has uses, you could just run your recording machine on there, because my recording stuff's connected to there, so is Stream Decks, and because it's on 24/7 basically, so all my automation runs on there. And I could actually, if I wanted to, hook up hard drive still like there too, and use that as like a NAS instead of using a dedicated NAS. But that would be asking too much for this little machine, because right now it's running OBS, Keyboard Maestro, and some other softwares up here. Oh, you see up there, it runs a lot of software. But going back to this, that's because I'm talking about this because of what how I can actually use it first. Because as you can see, it basically runs every 30 minutes, and so what it will do is quit the Stream Deck app and then relaunch it. It will wait 6 seconds. Once it waits 6 seconds, it will press Command W inside of the wavelength. So it will basically, it's because if you see, it basically is quitting and relaunching wavelength. So that will fix the audio issue. Okay. So it fixed the audio issue, and then it also is quit and relaunch Elgato, the Stream Deck. So if you quit Wavelength, you'll run into an issue where the Elgato Stream Deck doesn't basically recognize the buttons for like Wavelength anymore. So you gotta restart the Stream Deck. So how I have it is, it will quit Wavelength, wait 6 seconds, press Command W, which will close. It'll send a keystroke to Wavelength, which means it'll lower it. It will close the window. Then it will wait 6 seconds, and so that's enough time for Wavelength to start, and then minimize and get readjusted. Then it waits 6 seconds. So in total, 12 seconds so far. Then it will quit and reopen the Stream Deck software. It waits 6 seconds. And then once it waits 6 seconds, it will then press Command W. Because I tried it with 2, which is too fast. It doesn't recognize the keystroke. 4 seconds is not enough. 5 is barely enough. But so I put it on 6 just to make sure. So basically, it will do actually that command. So if we take this right here and look at both the Stream Deck and the screen, if we press it, it's just doing a test right now. There you go. Stream Deck reboot. And I'll show you how to make that just in case you want to know. Give me a second. So this is just a copy. So I'm not gonna do so I'm just gonna show you. So basically, what you have to do is create a new action. So once you create a new action, you go to the search bar, type in quit. This is just the simplest way of doing it without using any scripts, without using AppleScript. So you want the one that says quit specific application, okay? Want to get this quit specific application, click that one, and it should look like this right here. So now you want to say where it says quit, you want to press quit and relaunch. So if you do force quit, that's only if you're trying to force quit something. Like for example, if you're trying to quit Finder, you could use that one. But we're just quitting and relaunching. So this also can be used with Finder too. So you quit this one where it says front window. You click on here, go down to where it says more, and it opens up your window with all your applications. and then you go down to where it says Elgato. We'll do the wavelength first. So click the wavelength one, and now you just duplicate that. So you just right click, and then press duplicate. And then after that, you change this to, you go to Morgan, and then you go down to where, then you go to Morgan, go down to where it says Elgato Stream Deck. So Wavelength and Stream Deck you have like that. So then you want to go over here and press PAUS. You should only get a couple things. You want to click on the pause one right here. Click and drag and drop it here. And then you want to duplicate that 3 times. And if you want to save some time, you could put this to 6 seconds before you make the duplicate. So just put 6, and then you can duplicate. That's just to make it easier on you. So after that, you drag and drop this down here. So it should look like this. And then after that, you want, so it looks like this so far. So after that, you want to go to type here, type in key, and look for the one that says type a keystroke. Okay, you put one here in the between the 2 pauses. Then you want to what I recommend doing is basically just duplicating them first. So you basically press here, press with the adjust. So you want to basically type in here where it says return. Click it first. When it's in blue, click W. And now you want to basically click the little arrow here where my mouse is at, and then click here and click on adjust modifiers and click command, and you get command W. So now you want to duplicate this just to make it easier so you can work with it faster. So after that, you should have that set up. Now, you see how it says quit and relaunch Stream Deck app. Elgato Stream Deck. So for this one, where it says wavelength, where you did the command W at, you don't want to press command and then W on the keyboard because it'll close. You wanted to do it how I said it was, which was type here, press W, then press you press here where it says the command W at. I'll just show you. You do it again. So here, you press W, and you just get W because that's a keystroke you use. And here, you press the modifier key at the top and press command. So you get command W. So, and you can do this with like any key that you need a modifier for. And then after that, you click the little blue dot. Since this one is below Stream Deck, you click here, the blue dot. You see where it says send to. You send this keystroke to. You click more. Then once you click on, so you click here, send more, and it will close, and you gotta reopen it. Then you have to press Stream Deck. So it should say type the Command W keystroke to Elgato Stream Deck. It's not sending the keystroke to the actual Stream Deck. It's just sending the keystroke to the app running on the computer. Then you do the same thing. So go here, hit the little dot, and then you hit send to, and then you say press more. It closes. Then you can go here, send to, and then you go to Wavelink. So Elgato Wavelink, that's how you should have that one there. So if you want to make sure it works, you can adjust the timer how you like it. I just found the timer at 6 seconds works pretty good, and it's fast. So after that, so let me just delete this one. So I'm just going to use the one I just made, but this is just the a copy, not my actual one. So yeah, so this is this one. So if you run this now, because if you run this, it will launch Wavelink, and now it should launch the Stream Deck. There you go. Closing Stream Deck, relaunching it, and then setting Wavelink back up because it is detecting sound again. So now what you do here after you get this set up, you can either set this as a button. So whenever it breaks, I have a button here just in case it breaks, and it breaks sooner than 30 minutes, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Wavelink is just kind of picky, but I have a button here just for Fix Me, called Fix Me. And also, this also closes the Stream Deck app, which would also fix issues that occasionally happen inside of OBS too. So, you don't. So if you have this open and OBS, and you close it, I recommend having one that starts OBS too. So I'll show you how to do actually that too. So it's the same exact thing, but if you have OBS minimized on the screen, but if you have OBS open on another screen, like I have OBS running on the monitor that's over here, but what I recommend doing is basically just then taking this right here, the one that says Stream Deck, and then duplicate that, and instead of saying Elgato Stream Deck, go here, go down to more, and then go to OBS right here. But and if you have OBS running on a separate screen, which you should be, you would then not have it minimized. But how I usually have it is I use the mover script to move it from, because when I change inputs, it usually moves from here to here. So I have a script that moves it over here to back over here, back into its spot, like how I usually have it on OBS over there. So you can have it basically do the mover script to move it over to your other screen back in a specific spot. So it's almost like it's almost like hot corners on Windows, but you just need to use the bound button, or the bound script and then put inside of the move to specific window. And if you have like a little macro keypad that you can assign, for example, like command shift, command shift. So basically, these three keys, other than Alt, other than FN. So this, and this. This is just one of the keyboard, but this is Command, Alt, Control, Shift. Hit all three of those plus one of these ones, and just have it set it up as a secondary keyboard somehow on macOS. You could basically this will give you 9 macros here if you just want to use these keys right here. These keys wouldn't actually work unless you actually program them. Haven't figured that. Wouldn't want to mess with that. Didn't mess with that, but so you could get a little keypad, a wireless keypad like this size, and then have a little wireless version of the Stream Deck. But you wouldn't be doing macros inside the Stream Deck, and you wouldn't have like fancy images. You just have like the little keys that you could put keycaps on, and then you could just say, "Oh, that's that." Press it. It will then do all your scripting would be done in Keyboard Maestro here, or with Apple scripts. I recommend Keyboard Maestro mainly because it has a nice user interface, but you basically just have it move your stuff over here with OBS. And so since you saw that it worked, so now to go back for the time wise, you see where it says new trigger. Click new trigger. You have literally a whole bunch of stuff here. For example, on here there. So if you have like a network drive right over there, like the data drive, you could literally when your network drive mounts or your specific drive mount. So if you have a drive that's called like eggplant, for example, whenever the eggplant drive is mounted with it or the specific ID name, because if you have something called eggplant, and anything with the name eggplant will be actually plugged in, it will basically launch the actual. You can have it launch. You can have it trigger this. But if you have something based off of the device's ID, you could then launch it. You could then, when that specific device ID is plugged in, it will launch the macro and run. So, but you just go to where it says new trigger and go to where I just launched it. Let's see. There you go. So just to let you know, Keyboard Maestro commands will be over here. So we'll basically go back to here. So basically, so the trigger. So, for example, you go to one where it says periodic trigger. So periodic trigger would do this. So if you go to periodic trigger, so let me just show you one. Actually, that's an interesting one. So this one I don't know if it works, but I'm about to try it out now before I do this trigger and show you. So you know where it says change appearance change. Then if we say change the trigger appearance, So let's see. Because you can do based off cron, and then you can combine this with like Alfred if you wanted to. So if the appearance changes, so according to if the appearance changes, we go to here, system settings, then go to appearance. So if we change this to white, it should trigger the macro. There you go. So as you can see, it triggered the macro. So that's that one that the white got awful, but basically you could trigger the macro if you use the keyboard Maestro to basically, because for example, what you can do is you can have the keyboard Maestro. Let me just change it back. Let me just take off this one real quick and change it to back to dark screen. God, this is hurting my eyes. God, this is hurting my eyes. Okay, that's better. So basically, because I didn't want to point the camera at the bright screen. So basically, because there are some people who like to have bright white light mode during the daytime and dark mode during nighttime. There are some people like that, and so basically, what can happen is, some people could have a macro here that says change system. You actually can have it set to you create a new trigger. But basically, for example, what I'm going to show you. So create new trigger, then periodic trigger. Okay, so and then for here you set it so you can so basically what this one is so this one you could have it repeat every hour or every so basically let's just say you work on the same computer. So start work at 8 a.m. Okay, at 8 a.m. you could have the brightness changed to white mode, and then once it basically changes in white mode, you could once it changes the brightness to white mode, it will change it. It will repeat every 12 hour. It will repeat every 12 hours. I mean, every however long you decide to work for. So it's in between times of the actual time if you set to, and so like let's say 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay, it will basically switch it to white mode, and so then from there you could basically then have that macro execute this specific macro by making sure it will be changed based on the look on the appearance. Because if it's white, it will run this macro. for example, or whatever macro. Like you can have the macro open up stuff, and it will launch them, and then once it hits basically nighttime or the appearance changes to black, it will close said macros. It will run another macro, and it will run based on appearance. So for example, let's just say um, this is macro A, and so basically this macro A, you want it to trigger macro A. So so you want it to trigger based on, let's see, I'll use this right here, 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You want it to trigger between those times every every um every 12 hours, or however long you put it between there. Every that many hours it will execute the command. And then after that, you then go down to here where it says you press plus, and then you add new trigger. Then you go to type in execute macro. So you type in execute macro, and then you find the macro that you created that's based on appearance, and so it will execute the macro based on it will execute the macro based on so it will do execute, it will switch the to light profile, and it will at the specific time switch between the light profile and run that macro, and then it will run it based on the light appearance because it switched to light, and that macro would then run. So then if you switch to dark, it'll run the dark macro, and which will execute another command that you can have that executes based on time of day. But you can set it to basically one to light macro, one to dark macro. So dark appearance and light appearance, and so you could call it light macro and dark macro. But you can use that with periodic time. So, but for this specific instance, you use this one right here. Type in every 30 minutes for this specific macro, and then you type in right here. Since I leave my computer on because I use the keyboard my show functionally, you want to name it AM. So between AM and AM. So you want to name it at 12 midnight. So you could do it at whatever time you want, but you might have to run multiple macros. This macro would basically execute every time it hits. This macro will actually run every 30 minutes. Yes, it will use some CPU horsepower, but that's necessary if you don't want to just have to, because in order to get wavelength working properly, you have to go here, close wavelength, then close the Stream Deck application, which is over here, and then open wavelength right here, and then open the Stream Deck app. And in order to do that, to reset it. So this app basically makes it so you don't have to go up here and reset it every time, because this is actually a Mac specific issue. It's not really a Windows issue, because Windows wavelength works okay, fine, but this is a Mac specific wavelength issue. But this is a workaround. It's not really that bad. It only takes around 18 seconds, and you don't even notice it, and it runs in the background. The only thing I would like to be able to like do without the because of the since this is setting a keystroke, that means you can't really touch your keyboard when the keystroke is executing because with actual it will say, oh, I'm trying to do a keystroke, but it'll basically it'll ding at you if you're using Mac OS. And um so once you have it set to 12, and then you have this set to 12. So I say if it's set to 12 a.m., 12 a.m. On these days, it's every day. So, and if you can play with the time, I have mine set to reset every 30 minutes to make sure I have sound, because I noticed that it happens every hour that I lose actually sound, and it switches wavelength back to my audio interface because of the wavelength. You don't the wavelength application is because how I have my wavelength application set up. So up wavelength. So I have my wavelength application set up where the microphone headphone jack is muted, and Firefox is sending audio to both the stream output and the headphone output. So and then Foobar, which is my music software of choice, is basically sending audio out to my headphone audio out, and not my stream audio out. And then VLC is sending audio from VLC to the headphone and stream audio out. And Zoom is being sent to headphone and video audio out. So if I decide to Zoom calls, it would basically just send audio to both of them. And then the last one, which is VMware Fusion, this audio output is being outputted to VMware Fusion. So the audio that comes in VMware Fusion goes onto that channel, and it's separated technically. Well, it's not separated. It basically can play. If I need to mute it, I can just press a button on my Stream Deck to mute the stream audio output for the stream mix, which is going into OBS, and basically the monitor mix is going to my interface. So the reason why I actually did this was because of I upgraded to the Stream Deck Plus, because I had one that couldn't do much stuff with it, but I wanted to use Wavelength again because I wanted to get a Wave XLR, but the problem is I already have an interface that's really good for like audio music production wise, and the problem is when I had the volume up on this interface, it would, and these speakers on, it would make a bzzz, like a feedback loop. Doesn't do that with the microphone I have now, which is a Rode NT1 Mini, and that's connected to the computer, which is being controlled through the Wavelength software here. And so the Wavelength, which you see over there is the Stream Deck Plus. Right here is the Rode NT1 right there is the Pulson audio. I'm gonna replace that one with another microphone. I mean, with another microphone, because with this specific microphone, I had to turn the gain up to all high heck, and the one over there, the Rode NT1, is a pretty quiet mic. Well, you can't really hear it because it's over there, and that spot is the spot over there. You can't really see it at the moment, but it picks up audio fine. And so the audio is coming through actually each channel individually. So if I wanted to mute the headphone mix for basically, if I want to mute the output for the headphone specifically on the Stream Deck, I have this button right here, which will make the audio for the headphone mute. It will mute the monitor mix. This one will mute Firefox because there's times I don't want to mute the monitor mix itself, but I want to mute Firefox. And this one, which is Fufu Bar, I had that for muting. my actual muting my actual thing. And so basically, and you just can't see it right now, I have the other Stream Deck Plus behind here just fresh now, because I don't know if I should put it right where I have this right here, and just have it so it has access to all of these specific ones, but on different pages and stuff like that. But so when I need to talk to the microphone that's literally right here, I can have it muted right here, and it will mute an OBS and stuff, but you can still hear it, but I can actually mute it now because it's actually muted, but it still hears my voice because it's on and plugged in. Then for this one, it's muted too, but you can still hear my voice because it still picks it up. This one's muted too, but it's not being sent out into the mix. And what you see now is Firefox. Because if I press Firefox, it mutes the audio input for the input, but it still goes out to the mix. So, and what I want to do is basically have a couple pages just for the front page just for the first front page of the Stream Deck Plus just for these three, and the other two for the other four for actually that one, and just do one for actual audio mix. And so this is just be for the stream mix, because the headphones aren't gonna be plugged into like that. But that's with that's the issue with Wavelength. And so and if you basically have it set up properly, every 12 hours, from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., it will run this script. So, and once it runs the script, it will basically just do this. So watch. So I'm just artificially pressing the button, but if we press this, it will do this, do that, and it will turn it back on, and it'll turn the Stream Deck back on, and everything will be working again. So yeah, and so and if you want to get super fancy, if you want to get super fancy, just this was actually more of is more of a basically this was more deeper, but if you know when Time Machine runs, because Time Machine on Mac OS, as long as you have as long as you have a drive plugged in, I have mine backed up to my network attached storage. So basically, trying to find Time Machine. Where is it? Here it is. So basically, as you can see here, Time Machine backed up at 7:30 a.m. And so this is just for me specifically. So when because it's backs up every hour on the hour. So if you know if your audio does go out after an hour, you can have keyboard maestro run basically the script when Time Machine runs. And so when Time Machine runs, it'll run the script and it'll this macro, and then once it runs the macro, it would basically it will run the macro and Time Machine would actually run. But you honestly don't actually even need to do any scripting with like this, because of they have a I'll show you, because I have one here. So if you go here, I have Time Machine. So Time Machine is a this is a it is Tmol start back up. Tmol start back up is just the time machine start command. It's pretty old command on the Mac OS. It just runs the Tmol backup, which Time Machine uses. Because let me show you. Because if you just go here, you see where it says preparing to back up. So let's see. So as you can see, Time Machine's backing up. It's at 43%. So basically, what this Tmol command does, it would basically start the Time Machine backup. Also does other Time Machine related stuff, but like Tmol backup just runs the Time Machine backup, or you can just have it done automatically. So this is what you could do. If we go back to our little example of the copy, you could basically go to this one, when you could have it trigger by you can have it trigger on sleep, or you can have it trigger time of day, periodic, wake. So you can just have it trigger hourly and stuff like that. So yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. Sorry for a super long video, but it's detailed and there's a lot of rambling. So thanks for watching. Bye.